Today I'm going to talk about the BESTVA BAT 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled LED bar grow light. It's a fantastic light I've been able to test for the past 4 weeks in my grow tent. My grow tent is about 3 feet times 2 feet, and in the past I had really small little LED lights in it, but recently I received a fantastic grow light that I've been able to test. Well, what is the BAT 300 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light? It's a foldable LED grow light using white and red LED lights, and in addition it is Wi-Fi controlled. It means that you can connect it to your Wi-Fi, and you also have an app that you can use to control it, but more about this later. Let's talk about the specs for a few minutes. The grow light covers an area of 4 times 4 feet. That's about a little grow tent. It's an area that you can suit, like, I don't know, 50 to 60 plants in it if you squeeze them really closely together. And it's certainly a sufficient grow light for all your indoor house plants. I'm growing a lot of Aroid plants. These are plants that are growing on other plants such as Monstera and the Philodendron genus. Well, what is the BAT 300 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light? It's a foldable LED grow light using white and red LED lights, and in addition it is Wi-Fi controlled. It means that you can connect it to your Wi-Fi, and you also have an app that you can use to control it, but more about this later. Let's talk about the specs for a few minutes. The grow light is a full spectrum grow light. This means that when you have a look at the light, it looks like natural light. So it's bright white light, and actually the grow light is using red and white LEDs that produce a very natural looking light. I don't really like these grow lights where you have blue and red light, because these kind of lights, when you look at your plants, they're just gonna look off. You can't really soak in the beauty of your house plants with such a light. That's why I'm a big favorite of natural grow lights that produce a full spectrum light, and I also truly believe that this is the best light for your house plants because it is closest and mimics natural sunlight. And another great feature of this light is that it is IP65 certified. This means that it can take some water on it. The grow light is working in a very humid environment, so if you're using a humidifier, there's no problems with this grow light. Also, if there's like a few water spritzes, it doesn't really bother the grow light because it's really well done. It's protected from water, so that's really also an important aspect to watch out for. In terms of specs, what is also great, what I really liked, is that the grow light comes with hangers. So it comes with 4 hangers that you can use to mount it to a ceiling and also to mount it into your grow tent. You can adjust the hangers. That's perfect because you might want to get closer to your house plants when they're small and you have to move the grow light farther up once they're growing. So it's really easy to adjust the grow light with these hangers. In terms of special features, what I loved about this grow light is that the grow light is Wi-Fi capable. So you can log into your WLAN at home and you can then use an app to steer and control it. That's fantastic. Most grow lights do not offer that. And the great thing about it is that then you can schedule and also time your grow light, and you don't need an additional separate timer that you have to set. You just do everything with an app. You can remote control your grow light, so you can turn it on and off even if you're not at home. Let's talk about the positives of this grow light. So the most important factor or aspect of a grow light for me personally is whether it's able to grow my plants well. By growing well, I want to see plants growing fast. So I want to have thicker stems, I want to have more leaves, bigger leaves, and this is really for me the indicator whether a grow light is good or not good. In that category, the BESTVA 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light is just amazing. I mean, 400 watt gives you a lot of power, much more power than you will ever need for your house plants. In the beginning, I had it on the full setting. I had it on 100%, and it was just way too bright. I now set it back to 50%, and still more than sufficient to produce great light for my houseplants. Another great feature of the BESTVA BAT 400 watt grow light is that it is actually dimmable. So you can dim it from 100 to 0%. And this comes in really handy because 400 watts is quite strong. There's a very high probability that you don't need that much light for your houseplants. All right, yeah, I already told you that the grow light is really strong and more than sufficient for your houseplants. I actually tested it in my growth tent for the past 4 weeks, and what I've seen was just mesmerizing. I saw so much great growth. One example are my Thai constellations, and this is actually a plant. Usually I get a leaf like every 3 or 4 months. I think the first half year I had my Monstera Thai constellation, I haven't seen any new leaves, and they're quite hard to grow. They're also very prone to root rot, but actually both of these plants produced a new leaf since I'm using the BAT 400 watt LED grow light. They both produced a new leaf since I'm using the BAT 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light, which is just fantastic. One leaf is already there and the other one is emerging. And actually one of the Monstera Thai constellations has just produced the biggest leaf ever. Another plant that is really hard for me to grow, like I see others that have more success to me, obviously, but the Monstera Skeleto, I also hardly see any new leaves popping up. I don't know why that is the case, but also this plant is currently producing a really big leaf that is just about to unfurl, and I'm very happy about that. So I see great leaf production from most of my plants, and I credit that to the grow light I've been using for the past 4 weeks. It really seems to work, which is great. And then let's talk about one of the most powerful features for me personally, which is the app control. I've never seen any grow light that you can control with your app, but actually with this one you can do it. So what I did is I just downloaded one of the apps that was suggested. I think it's called the Tuya app onto my iPhone, and then I was able to quickly find my grow light that was turned on, and I could connect these two, and now I can steer it. I can increase the brightness, I can lower the brightness, and I can also turn it on and off, and I can put it on a schedule. So what I prefer is to put my grow lights on a 12-hour on and 12-hour off schedule. They turn on in the morning at 6 a.m. and they turn off in the evening at 6 p.m. I just set that every day. It turns on at that time and turns off at 6 p.m. So this is really fantastic. You could also time it. You could say, let it run for the next couple of hours. No problem with that. And you can just push of a button, you can turn it on and off. This for me is a main differentiator to most of the other available grow lights. The setup. Well, the setup was really easy. It took me some time to figure some of the things out, but that was mainly due to me just not really studying the manual that came with it, and also just not realizing how things work. Yeah, setting up is easy because this grow light is foldable. Also, there's very few grow lights that are foldable. This is a big plus for this grow light because it's actually quite heavy. So it was great that I could fold it and then just hang it onto my grow tent, and just one side, and then I could do the other side. I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't foldable because it's quite heavy, as I said. The material used is really sturdy and great, and therefore this product also has a certain weight. Yeah, and then also about the noise level, like sometimes you read about the grow light which is really loud. I also have a couple where you can just hear like a simmer all the time and some noise that you don't want to hear. I personally can't tell whether this grow light is on or off. I can certainly tell from the light, but not from the noise, which is also a great plus. It's really quiet and I can't hardly hear anything. So in terms of noise, it's fantastic. Yeah, the build quality, I already introduced that. The build quality, it's built like a tank. It's really sturdy. Just once you touch it, once you take it out of the box, you realize that the price is more than justified. You don't think it will fall apart. Like I have some of the other grow lights where I think like within half a year or a year, it's maybe gonna break because it's just so cheaply made. Not with the BAT 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light. It's so sturdy. Yeah, the packaging, it came in a big box, obviously, but it was folded in half. So I didn't have to assemble everything, which I really appreciated. Most of the things were already assembled. I just had to unfold it and put the hangers onto it. And I think also I had to put the main controller or power source, attach it on top of it, which was actually quite easy to do. And it was really well packaged inside the package that nothing can be damaged. It came in pristine condition, which is great, because you're always wary if you order something like that has a certain value. If anything is damaged, it would be very difficult to send it back. And then, yeah, let's talk about the support. If things go wrong or if you have questions, it's great if you have a company that you can reach out to. I actually had a case with BESTVA, or this grow light particularly, where I didn't know how to use a certain feature. It was the app control. I was able to connect it to my WLAN. It was absolutely no problem. I saw the grow light, but I just couldn't use it. I turned it on and off, and I also set the lighting. Like, I also dimmed the light, but it didn't do anything. And then I reached out to them and just asked them what I'm doing wrong or why it's not working. And they got back to me within a couple of hours and just told me that there is like a switch that you have to turn on. And after that, it was app controlled. So you can either use it manually yourself, or you can use the app control. And after I put this switch to on or to app control, I was able to control it using the app. So that was great, like really, really great support, really friendly and very quick. That's exactly what you need when you are using a technical device. Not everything is just perfect and sunshines and rainbows. There were also a couple of downsides or things that I thought could be better. One thing is the thermal emittance, or just how warm this thing gets. The grow light actually gets quite warm. So I saw an increase of about 5 degrees Celsius, or several degrees Fahrenheit in that regard. And actually, I personally quite liked it, because I'm living in a country that it gets quite cold, and I like if the grow light is heating up my grow tent in autumn and winter, and also in spring, but maybe not so much in summer. So you have to take into account that if you use this grow light in a smaller environment, or in a enclosed environment, that it can heat up the air. So therefore, just make sure that you ventilate everything and you make sure that it doesn't get too hot or too warm. Yeah, the thermal emittance is certainly something that I thought was remarkable. Maybe some suggestions to improve in future versions of this fantastic product. The other thing was the leaflet. I really liked the leaflet. It was illustrated with pictures and images. It was very easy to follow, but it didn't 100% match the quality of the grow light itself, because it was very obvious that it is a translation, and some of the word uses were just not 100% appropriate. You could see that there is room for improvement for certain translations. Let's come to the verdict. So all in all, I have to say the BESTVA BAT 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light is a fantastic grow light. It's more than I could ever wish for my houseplant collection. My Philodendron and Monstera plants are growing really, really well. I see new and bigger leaves, thicker stems, and this is just exactly what I need for my houseplant collection. I also have some rare houseplants, such as the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti, that you don't want to do anything wrong with. I'm happy to have such a strong and powerful grow light. I don't need it on 100%, so it has way more power than probably I will ever use. But it's just great that I personally know that I can max out the growth potential for my houseplants, because I do it already in terms of nutrition, in terms of watering, and I didn't do it in the past in terms of the lighting I provide. With this grow light, I'm just able to do it. A lot of LED manufacturers are focusing more on houseplants because of the hype in the past few years. I assume more and more people will want to have fantastic grow lights for their collection, and the BAT 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled grow light is certainly a fantastic grow light. So if you like this grow light, are interested in BESTVA grow lights or in this particular grow light, please use the coupon code PLANTOPHILES, because this way you're gonna get an exclusive 5% off of the total amount, which I think is really generous. So please use the coupon code PLANTOPHILES when you buy it. And you can also follow the links. I set the links in the description when you are interested in buying the BESTVA 400 watt Wi-Fi controlled LED bar grow light. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked the review, and stay tuned for further reviews and of course houseplant and care articles.